Okay, we already have some of the attendees joining.
Yeah. You want to waiting for another 1 or 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's okay to wait 1 or 2 minutes for them. We have some from Bali and some from Java Island.
Right. You're in Jakarta, right?
No, I'm based in Central Java in Semarang.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The island is really big.
Yeah. We have some from East Java also.
Right. But I saw that in the past, only Franklin look after Indonesia. So now you
Yeah,
have a more staff member.
yeah, now we have more stuff. So now
Yeah.
currently we have my Franklin in Jakarta, and then
Yeah.
myself is in Semarang, Central Java, and we
Yeah.
have three of our staff in Surabaya actually. We have
Oh, Surabaya as well. Okay.
Arif, Desi, and Susan is based in Surabaya.
Yeah. I met your one of your boss, Wayne,
Mr.
last week.
Wei.
Yeah, during the AIEC conference in Melbourne. So and also I met your one of your colleague
Frankie,
who based in Vietnam.
yeah,
So she was
Tracy.
yeah Tracy, that's the one. Yeah, she was here. So therefore we had a bit of a chat during the conference.
Yeah, I think we have already a lot of
Got a
attendees
15.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 13 attendees.
Okay. You want to start it?
I think yeah, we can start it, and later after the presentation, we can open for the Q&A session. So I will
Yeah.
create a
Cool.
board, and then I will
Yep.
pass the moment for you. Okay, good
All
morning,
right.
everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar training today with the Garden TAFE Victoria. So maybe it's a bit different with other region TAFE because the other region TAFE, they only have one TAFE and different location. But for Victoria, they are standalone for each of their TAFE location, and one of them is the Garden TAFE. So today we have Mr. George Zhang that will give us the explanation regarding the garden program and then the entry requirement and what's the special feature in the garden. And later, after the presentation, you can submit your question in the Q&A box, or during the presentation, you also can submit your question in the Q&A box, and we will address it after the presentation. We also have Audrey here from the garden also.
Hello.
Hi, Audrey. Nice to
Hi,
meet
how
you
are you?
again. Yeah, great.
That's great.
Now we can start for the presentation. Please, Mr. George.
Okay. Good morning, everyone in Indonesia, and good afternoon in Australia. Okay. Thank you very much. Give us the opportunity to so we can meet each other online. And I think we just let's start the presentation. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. Okay. Now, when I move my mouse, can you see the little arrow?
Yes, I can see it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. So make things easier. Okay. So well, that's the Gordon. Gordon also we call it the Golden Institute of TAFE, and we have the one of the 12 in Victoria, and we are in the Geelong city, the second largest city in Victoria. Now here on the left corner, you can see real skills, real experience, and real outcomes. That's our slogan. That's what we do. Okay. The most important is real outcomes. Okay, that's a Golden. That's our city campus, and you can see the red color, the building. That's the oldest building, and we started from this building. and we are 137 years old now. That's Geelong. Geelong is later on you will see the maps. Geelong, we are in the sort of entry of the Phillip Bay. Geelong used to be a very big port city, and we're exporting a lot of things from Geelong. Here you can see the red color building, right? That's a Deakin University. I believe every one of them, you know the Deakin. And we are about 500 meters from the Deakin University. And just to let you know a small things, back to more than 50 years ago, Deakin University actually is come out from Gordon. Not many people know about this. That's our team. I'm the only boy, very, yeah, okay. So that's 137 years old building, and we started from this building, all right? And also, in the very early stage, more than 100 years ago, the first of international students, actually from Japan, he studied in Gordon, and he learned how to look after the ships and also the walls. Have a look at this picture. Let's take roughly about 100 years ago. Have a look at all these students. They have to wear tie. Look at the hairstyles. Very classical, old modern, you know. Okay, now we have 6 campuses. You see the blue color, all this, that's water. Okay, that's water. You get an entry here, and you go into the Melbourne, and that's the Phillip Bay. So here in Geelong, we have 2 campuses. The city campus, all the big bosses, the small bosses all here. And then we have East Campus, which is all lots of workshop is over there. All right, we will see in the videos. And then we got 3 campuses between Melbourne and also Geelong. Actually, they're close to Melbourne. All right, lots of our health education, that kind of things is over there. And then we got the Colac, middle of the nowhere there. Anything to do with the trees, the plants, the lands, the soils, whatever, it's over there. Okay, so the 6 campuses. All right, let's watch a quick video about our city campus. Yeah, pretty. Is that the video running okay? No, Jack? No, Jack. Yeah, okay, that's good. And also, we have a very strong and a closer connection with the local business. Actually, some of the businesses are really big. For example, here, Avalon Airport. All right, every 2 years we have the largest air show in Southern Hemisphere, which is in Avalon Airport, only 15 kilometers from Geelong. And like the food is of manufacturing to make the cars, huge one. So when we have all these people, we want to work with them for 3 reasons. Number one, they can provide a work-based placement for our program for our students. Now, work-based placement equivalent to internship in Asia. Okay. So, second one, we would ask them to provide the employment for our graduates. Okay, that's a very important. All right, and the third one, also we provide some of the upper skill training for their staff members. So that's the 3 things that we're working together. Now, that's the reason we believe the student can come in to do the study with us. Number one, 137 years old, lots of very long history, and we are government owned. We belong to the Victoria government, and then the supportive communication. That's the most important for us because we most of the Asian students, they tend to fix up things about themselves. They hold back, by themselves. They worry that my English no good, and if I go to talk to the college, is that being somebody gonna laughing on me? No. You gotta please ask your students anything. It doesn't matter silly or non-silly question or whatever. You gotta come talk to us. Okay, so we know something. Okay, then we can work it away and then work it out the best way to help you out. All right, so please, supportive communication is the most important things. We want a student happy to hear. Convenient location. We are just opposite of the Geelong station. We will see in the video later on. And experienced teachers, and that's depending on the subjects. Some of subjects will require our teacher to have a minimum 10 years relevant working experience. For example, in automotive, our teachers, they must work in the industry as a mechanic or auto electrician for 10 years before they can go to university, get a qualification, get a TAE, and become our trainer. All right, that's a very important experience of teachers. Small classes size, normally we will have from 22 to 25. Average classroom, not more than 20. And also in the work-based placement, the workshop. In workshop, the students got to do the practice, right? One teacher with 15 students. It cannot more than 15 students. Okay, so small classroom. Work-based placement, that's an internship. Now, there is a little bit different here. In Indonesia, quite often, all the students will do the internship in the last, I talk about it in vocational area, okay, in last semester. But in Australia, what we do is you study, you practice, which is in the workshop, then you go for work-based placement. Study, practice, internship, okay? So it's combined. That's one thing different with the Indonesian. What's the example I can give to you? All right, for example, commercial cookery. Commercial cookery certificate 3, then a cert 4, and then diploma in hospitality management. Right? Most of the work-based placement or internship, they will finish in first year. Okay, we don't put it in the last semester. No, they finish in the first year. All right. So employment come out, same thing. Most of the employment is come out from a work-based placement. If you done good, the boss like you, then they offer you the job. I would say roughly about 60% to 80% of the employment come out like that. In 21, 22, 2021, 2022, we won 3 big awards from Victoria government. Now, the biggest one, of course, it's called a Premier's Award. But for me, and I believe, the excellence in international student experience, that's the most important. Because we want to make sure the student happy, then they can do better study. Okay, so students happy. That's the most important thing for us. All right, let's have a look at another quick short video about our programs.
Your future is in your hands. There is a whole world waiting for you, and your choices determine how you will impact it. At the Gordon, we recognise this. That's why we champion hands-on learning. Get your hands dirty. Grab what's in front of you. Learn by doing. Turn your passion, your ideas, and mould them into your creations. You'll be supported the entire way. You'll grow your skills in small classes, guided by teachers who are industry experts. You'll learn in state-of-the-art facilities or out in a real-world workplace setting. Your hands-on experience will increase your understanding and put you ahead of your university peers. You'll graduate work-ready, and you'll graduate sooner, with a huge range of qualifications to choose from and support services to enable your success. Now is the time to continue your learning journey. At the Gordon, your future is in your hands.
So as you can see, the most of the program we have, that's of a traditional skill. Okay, sure, we do some fancy stuff like the new energies or that kind of things. Okay, but most of our programs still for the traditional skill. Why? The reason behind it is employment. Okay, now one of our federal minister and said many times, the bridge between the family and also TAFE can change their lifestyle, can change their income. So that's a very important, the outcome, the job outcome, or we say student job ready, that's the most important things. At the moment, we don't have, we used to have the ALICOS program in-house, okay? And students can come in to do the English with us, such and such. But now after COVID, and then we have to close it because at that time, there are no new students. So at the moment, we're using 4 of those English schools. They're based in Melbourne, okay? Of course, the best one is Hawthorn, but I think that a lot of agencies in Asia, they're using Impact or maybe Greenwich, okay? So if you want to, to work it out or whatever the things, and talk to Yes Education, and then we can work it out an arrangement. Now, Hawthorn Melbourne, they used to belong to University of Melbourne, Melbourne U, right? Melbourne U, we all know it. They are the toughest university, Even now they sold the business, but they still send their students to go to Hawthorn Melbourne to do the English. That's our credit program. With all this credit program and also plus other programs like a skill set, up skills, whatever the design of the program for the industry, we have more than 350 programs, and then to training all the students. Okay, but as you can see, a lot of those things, they are the traditional skills. That's a course at the moment we're open to the international students. Okay, we used to have more than 20 programs, but because of a lot of programs now under the upgrade, because the ASQA, which is the federal government body, they changed the training package, and then we have to update all those things. So at the moment we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But some of this course, like this early child education package, we can package with, sorry, not this one, with laboratory. health program. Yeah. So individual support, they can connect with the community services or connect with diploma of nursing. Okay. So we will talk about a little bit more later. First one, the cookery hospitality, and I believe most of you, know this program very well. Certificate 3 will take 1 year, and then 6 months for certificate 4, and 6 months for diploma. So total 2 years program, and of course the IELTS. Now we all know what direct entry, the native the 6.0 IELTS, and but the student the minimum must have a IELTS of 5.0. So therefore, the student will allow to do 20 weeks English plus the main course. Okay, otherwise anything less than a 5.0, just forget about it. Waiting for once the student improve their English. Otherwise, if you submit it, the visa application will be rejected straight away. Okay, so don't just make sure the English they can achieve the certain level. $32 million upgrade. Yeah, we spent $32 million. 26 million is from Victoria state government, and we spent $6 million. The total $32 million upgrade. Okay. Now, this in our restaurant, it's called a Davison restaurant. All right. This one is 137 years old, and all these things, the colors or whatever, go back to original color. All right. And all this, that's our trainer, the teacher, because this restaurant open to the public. So therefore, whoever working there, they must have certificate 3. And also, the hours they're working there is countable working experience. Okay, so that's a very important for later on if the students try to using for the working visa or for the migration pathway or whatever. Okay. So let's have a quick look at the video. It's a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. That's bakery, patisserie kitchen. All the table is a marble to hold the temperature. It's a cookery kitchen, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 4 kitchens of that size. That's the Geelong station, just opposite of our campus, city campus. All right, certificate 3 in individual support. Now, this program used to be not too popular with Indonesian students, but now the more people come in to do this course, and then they link it up with the diploma of community services or diploma of nursing, which is a little bit difficult because the IELTS are required higher. A lot of students doing this course, they using the migration pathway program. As everyone, you can go to the Australian Home and Affairs website, the government website. They show you the list, what's which of occupation is needed, all that sort of things. So those things you can get more detail from the government website. So you connect with the community services. Now, don't worry about the supporting community service. So you just straight away, the 3 years the 6 months individual support and connected with diploma of community services, 1.5 years. So total 2 years, or simply you just want to do the whole lot, Cert 4 plus community services, and then finish it. Then you can go to the universities. Nursing, okay, nursing, of course, we all know it. 7.0, no, that's difficult. That's why we want to connect it with community services. The English requirement is a bit lower. With this 7, it's very difficult, very difficult. Now, here I would like to just expand a little bit more. So let's say the entry requirement is same for university and also TAFE course. Okay, with the university, you do the 3 years. Once I finish it, you go to your registered nurse. With TAFE, you do 2 years, then you get a enrolled nurse. But the entry is all the same. Entry requirement is the same. Why our program still survives, still keep going, and more people actually they want to do our program instead of sort of getting to the university directly? There is a reason behind. I just give you the example. Say 3 years. What do? That's they do bachelor degree, right? During the 3 years, any working experience they have, they cannot use it for the working purpose or for the migration pathway. They just can't. Yeah? Okay. And also, what about they pay? Obviously, they pay lower because they are not qualified a nurse yet. Once they finish the 3 years of study, they got the registered nurse. Yes, then they can work it out for working visa, for migration pathway. Okay, now that's for the university 3 years. For TAFE program diploma, first 2 years you do the course with us, entry requirement the same. Once the 3 years you finished it, you got your enrollment nurse qualification. No one stop it. They will keep going to do another 2 years in university. I'll use this finger much easier. They go to 2 years for university, right? So 2 more years they will get the registered nurse qualification. But after first 2 years, when they work in the clinic, hospital, whatever, the working experience, they can use it for the working visa later on or the migration pathway. That's number 1 advantage. Number 2, the students will get a formal pay because they are qualified after 2 years. Now, one is the 3 years, one is the 4 years. Two people in front of the hospital, the employers, which one they will pick it up? They will pick it up this one. Why? Because they have experience. That's the most important experience. Okay, that's why this program still, the nursing program in TAFE in vocational still can keep going. Laboratory technology, this program was very, very popular during the COVID, so they need a lot of people to work in that, and even now. Advanced diploma building, those courses, well, I haven't seen many Indonesian students coming to do that program, but if a small amount of inquiries come in, they do asking. Once they finish this one, and then they can go to university, keep going. Diploma building. Okay, now this program perhaps not really for the Indonesian students, but we do have an Indonesian student from who didn't finish the other program. Then they got their 4A5 visa to working and living in Australia for next 2 years, and then suddenly realized that whatever they did in university cannot help them to get a job, and then they come in with us to do part of the program. Early childhood education and care, that's a very, very popular program. Our program is connected with Deakin University. The Deakin University will give our program 1.5 years credit. Okay, exemption. That's a really good. Normally, generally speaking, university only give us 1 year, but the Deakin University at the moment they give us is of 1.5 years, so it can save a lot of money. Okay, let's have another video regarding the workshops. That's our Easter campus. Yeah, the library now has become a study hub. Students use it more for study instead of sort of borrow the book. Now, Application of processing. You guys know everything, all right? I don't want to talk about it too much here. Let's go to next one, next topic. We may be more interested there. Assessment requirements, of course. We all know what the Australian government now is only, keep eyes on two things. Well, actually, three things. Number one, age. They don't want it too old the student can be in, right? If it's a bit of an older, then they ask for more questions. And as long as you got a reason, yes, you can do it. Second one is English. They must have the certain English level. Direct entry 6.0. If you want to do a bit of English plus the main course, the minimum you gotta have 5.0. All right. And number three, finance side. They want to make sure the student got enough money. Okay. So that's the three things they look at it. GS requirement. Now, GS requirement is the same as the GTE, which is everyone very familiar. With the GS requirement, I believe the one thing they done better than the last one, which is with the GTE. The GTE, they don't ask the more specific questions. Okay, they ask you to put it down all the information provided, and now they just ask you more specific. Okay, they put in the four sections, and all these things is in the application form. You need to fill up all that sort of things, all right? You got to make sure, to tell the visa officer the full story, and then they can access, process it. Otherwise, they just reject it. Okay. So with the section 1, they got all these questions. All right, they're all standard. Now, back to the GTE, we do these questions. Not really, the government, they don't really do it, but now I guess the government copied it from us actually, and they put on. All right, they're identical. So some of the questions, yes, the student can answer. Some of the questions, no, if they're too young, there's no way they got a, for example, gap for the last, at least 3 months or more, such and such. There's no such things. You don't need to worry about it. But you need to provide the information that the government required. Okay, the section 3s, same, all these questions, same 4, all right? Now, financial requirement. 29710, $30,000. Guys, when you have a student, ask them to put a bit in more because that's a minimum. Okay? Means even if you give them, say, okay, I'll show the evidence that, okay, I have the 29,710, they still can say, sorry, I don't give the visa. So add on another 5 or between 5 and 10% more. So you can show you have a strong, very strong foundation, the finance foundation. That's a very, very important, okay? Remember I said 2 things, they keep on 2 things, English and also the money side. COEs, of course, you understand, you get the offer letters, you accept it, then we give you the COEs for that sort of things. Now, I understand a lot of people try to talk about the caps, okay? Now the bill still in the parliament. It's not passing yet. They may passing by end of this year. Okay, and but for the visa side, application side, immigration department basically just business as usual. All right, the cap is only for the providers. If you haven't got enough, and if you done all, and then they say sorry, all your students can come back next year. That's about it. Okay, so for the visa application, business usual, business as usual, okay? Now, let's do some case studies. Visa refused on December 2023. Now, that's a timing is not really good, isn't it? It was a transition timing, okay? The older one, they still use the older rule, but then, of course, the office is being influenced by the new rule, which is not good. A lot of applications being rejected during that time. Okay, so with this one, what's the reason they put on? But did not provide any convincing evidence to support this. What he said, accept Australia education. I'm not satisfied that application demonstrating how it would achieve this against the background of okay, yeah. Basically, is what happened is the student said, okay, as I finish this course and I will open my own business or help the family business or whatever, but didn't give the detail. Now, sometimes direct evidence not as important as non-direct evidence. You might say, that's crazy. Yes, it is crazy. Because if they can't, the officer cannot see directly what are they looking for, they're going to non-direct evidence. All right, you got to show the photos. You got to come out with your planning, even that's a story. You have to start with a plan. Okay, you have to start with something that you imagine you want to do it. Okay, some of the students say, "Oh well, I can't because of I don't know what happened after that. I just got an idea. I want to start my own business." But from your completing your program to you start your own business, it's gonna be the gap there. You gotta let the visa officer understand how to cross the gap. All right. So that's a very important. Second one, let's have a look at it. Visa refusal on this one. All right, that's this year, February. All right. As the IELTS test certified result indicated that application achieved the overband 4.0, the result does not meet the English language level requirement. Okay, you can see that. 4.0, what did we say that before? 5.0. Okay, 5.0, you do another 20 weeks, add on, it's fine. So now it's very clear. The government will not give the visa if anyone, I talk about the pathway, okay? Your English plus the main course. You must achieve 5.0 in order to do 20 weeks. So no more than 20 weeks, not anymore, okay? But of course, if the students say, hey, I just want to come in to do the English, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, okay? Visa refusal again in June of 2024. Applicants stated after the study they would return to home country and establish their own business. However, same thing. You know, didn't only tell a big story here, but there's no detail. You need to fill in the detail. It doesn't matter you can do it later on or not. You have to tell the officer that that's what I'm thinking now. That's what I try to plan now. All right, you got to do that. All right. Now with this one, the immigration department will not reject the visa application if you say, I want to stay back once I finish once I completed the program. You can stay back for further study in university or do another vocational program to get the skill. Or you say, hey, I just want to apply for the 485 visas. I don't want to spend my 2 years, my life in Australia. I want to, taste the cultures, everything, the working there, whatever. Okay, so these things, it's off now, off the shelf. Okay, you can say that, not a problem. They can't use that one to against the student anymore. But when you provided the things, you got to show them. Okay, the student provided all these informations. As an agent, you got to put them different, reshuffle them, and make sure they are logical and common sense. Just think of that way. The officer will not call you, will not call the students. All he or she can see is a piece of a paper. It's called a GS. All right, that's the only things. And also that's the only things that can be controlled by students and you guys. So you got to maximize them. Okay. And so Pete, the student has submitted all the supporting documents. Okay, this one passed. All right. Learning package, all this. Yes, I remember this story. This student actually is an older student who's got a bachelor degree. Nothing to do with healthcare. All right. But he provided 2 cases which supported his application strongly. Number one, he done this of ambulance training. These things when he was in Australia. All right. And also during the COVID, he was a volunteer for the operation. So those 2 things supported his application and in England he's got a visa. Right? So now you can see a lot of things is what we talk about is non-direct evidence, okay, including the photos, the descriptions. You got to write down all that sort of things, okay. Same thing. SOP, the student had submitted the supporting documents. That referral should not have happened if I explain in more detail when I want to go to the cookery school and change my career. Let me see, who is this one? I think first, who is hold of my first reader is seeing this one here. And now hold of the reader. These are students. She is Indonesian. Her name is Pramasida. I remember this story. This student she did the university in Indonesia and studied the what is called international relationship. Then she's got a job with Indonesian, the Consulate General in Perth for 2 terms. I think a total of about 6 years. Now it's nothing to do with commercial cookery, isn't it? So she applied at first, got rejected. Right? Why? Didn't tell a good story, didn't tell them what I really planned, why I want to do that. And then after we had a very good discussion, then she read down back to that time the SOP. I read down the SOP and then I got through. So provided the information, I don't want to say as much as possible, but as correct as possible. That's the most important. And for agent's job, you got to make sure all these things reshuffle them, logical and common sense. That's the most important. All right, the student supporter. Well, you go to any school, so we all talk about the same. All right. Now remember what I said before. Communication. We want to talk to our student. We want your student come talk to us. Okay. That's our accommodation in our Easter campus. The students have their own his own room, but they share the kitchen and the bathroom together. They're very big, and we do have the manager over there to look after all the students. All right, let's quickly have a look at this video. Maybe this one a little bit long.
I live in the student residence. The Gordon Student Residence is a place near to the East Campus of the Gordon, and this student residence is full of everything that you need to get a really good accommodation here in Geelong, and also it's really affordable. Of course, living at the student residence is a really good opportunity to reduce your expenses, since a whole week will be about $150, which is really cheap for average prices. We have a queen size bed, we have all the furniture, a cupboard, night table, the desk. So it's really nice to live here in one of these biggest rooms. Probably is one of the biggest that I've never seen here in Australia. Since the accommodation for students usually have to be on shared houses. On these shared houses you have to share with people in different rooms, or the rooms are real small. So it's not the same here at the rest. And we have all the commodities to live in here. The Gordon Student Residence is a place to find friends, it's a place to make contacts, it's a place to have fun, it's a place to really enjoy all the time that you are spending here in Australia, here in Geelong as a student. It's a beautiful place that gives me all the information, it gives me all the friends that I just need at the beginning. Because when you came here in Australia, you must feel a little bit alone, and being in the student residence makes you feel comfortable.
I'm living with my friends. Our landlord is an Australian lady. She is the one who's actually teaching us how to adapt in this country.
She lives in
she would every time tell us the slang words of Australians. She would. We've also learning from her, like the foods that she eats. It's more of a healthy side of foods. She would eat salads, fish, whereas we eat pork, we eat meat. So, we're learning from each other, the culture that we're sharing to her and she's sharing to us. And it's just like a learning, it's an everyday learning for us.
Well, when I came here, I had two options. You can rent a room in a share house, or you have student accommodation. I was looking every option, but the one I liked more was the share house, because you rent a room and then you get to share it with 3 or 4 other people, and you get to make friends, and you always have someone there to support you. And for me, it was amazing because I have 3 housemates. They're all Aussie, and they're like my family now. So yeah, I'm very happy with that choice.
All right, all done. That's my presentation, and I think perhaps better, let's get into Q&A. That will make things easier. You guys ask questions, and we will, Audrey and myself, will try to answer as much as possible.
Okay, thank you, George, for the presentation. It's very full information about the entry requirement, and then you also gave us the like tips for the visa, especially because it's very important for now, since Australian visa is getting more difficult than before. And so it's very helpful for you to share the tips and how we can crash the visa application.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's as you can see, a lot of people say, oh, well, the passing rates are very low, let's say 50%. But what does that mean? That means still 50% of the student, also they're aging, they have done right things, right? Otherwise, they won't get a visa. So the immigration department, they're just looking for, as I say, mainly 2 things, or you can say 3 things: English, money, age. That's all about it, okay? Now for us, we may take the student applicants up to 25 or 26, but the older students, they must have very strong reason. Okay, they must have a very strong reason. All right. And as I say that, but they can use a direct reason and also indirect evidence. Okay, there are those things that we can work out together, because case to case is all different. All right, and we need to have a look at. So same thing, the SOP is still very important. Okay, statement of the purpose, and then you got to fill up all the GS. The current GS requirement makes things much easier. You just fill up. All right, not too much, not too less. It's right there. I know it's difficult to work it out. What it means, what's the standard of the right there, but we have to do our best. The second thing is, please read the rejection letter very carefully and closely, because that's the only thing that is the feedback that we can get from the visa office. Okay. Now in Indonesia, I think all Indonesian applications are going to go into the Jakarta. Is that right?
Yeah, we go to Jakarta.
Yeah, but please do not believe they're all being processed in Jakarta. You submit it online, so it depends on the situation, and it can be done by somebody based in Perth or being based in somewhere else, right? Because I think of Philippine application also got to go to the Jakarta. And how many officers you have over there? Not many, right? Now, in fact, the first assessor is not a human being. It's a machine. It's a machine. All right. So therefore, the students, when they do the SOP, I understand sometimes the agents and even the parents, they try to help the student, try to write the best SOP, but quite often being rejected. Why? Because the machine, they all use the AI system now. The machine can study all these style. Now there is not number of it, lots of the specialists, they are the special writer. They're writing the SOP for the students. Okay, so all those things actually they start being saved in the computer. The computer, the AR system, they study all these activities. They pick up straight away. So please, you gotta, when you do the SOP, when you do the GS, you gotta involve the students, okay? Ask them to provide information, to write down a piece of a paragraph or whatever, then you can help them out, all right? Your job is not to do it for them. It's help them to do the job. Okay, you got to show the officer that these things is coming from a human being is logical. Okay, it's common sense. All right, they don't believe somebody only can show the IELTS is only 5 or 5.5, and they can give me a page of best SOP. Impossible. All right, this officer, soon they think, oh, hang on a minute, this one not true, or I don't really believe it, they will reject it straight away. Simple. Okay, and then even now, they not just to say talk about the reason. Actually, they copy part of the SOP to put in the rejection letter to show the student and also the agent, hey, I catch you already. So you got to be very, very careful. Okay, so please read the rejection letter. I just got to make sure next time we won't make the same mistake.
Okay. Thank you,
Audrey,
George.
do you want to talk anything about it?
Maybe the
I was just going to
from
say, yeah, just with applications, it's also a good idea as well if the students have any referrals from employers or places that they work, that they should include that as well. As George already mentioned, evidence is key. So as long as they can provide as much evidence as possible, that's always a really positive thing, especially if they're going from one career to another and it's a very big change in career. It's always a really good idea to provide. I always say it's better to have too much than not enough information, because the more information and evidence you can provide, the greater chance that your visa will likely to get, hopefully, get accepted.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. Now I think we can move to the Q&A session. We already have some questions. We have few from OSS Bali. They want to ask, can you share about the price for the course? Because we haven't talked about the tuition fee. And then, do you have scholarship? And if you have it, how many percent and the requirement for the scholarship? And the last question from them is, can students continue to use campus facility outside of class hour or during holiday?
Okay, first thing, with the price, generally speaking, with the TAFE college, okay, the program cost is about 16,000 per year average, depending on the program. Some program a bit higher, some program a bit lower. Okay, so average you can say per year 16,000. All right, so the $8,000 per half year semester. So that's a one, and then you can get the detail from our website. Okay, it's an open information. Do you have a scholarship and how many? Now, I'm terribly sorry. In the TAFE system, we don't have a scholarship. We don't have a scholarship for international students. We don't even have a scholarship for the local students. But the federal government, they supporting the local student to do the TAFE course. It's different arrangement. Can students continue to use the campus facilities outside of class hours or during the holiday? Now, during the school holiday, because we have four holidays during the year, okay, the study time roughly is about 40 weeks. During the school holiday, the schools shut. They're not open to anyone. But if the students say they finish the study, say in the morning, all right, because total 20 hours minimum 20 hours per week, per week. So let's say they finish in the morning, then in the afternoon they say, oh, I want to go to the library, I want to go to use other facility, yes, by all means. As long as the college is open, the student can use all the facilities, all the equipment, no problem at all. What is how to okay, first regarding to work placement, do the students still needed to apply on the company after they down with the internship program? Second, how much the monthly cost to rent a room in a share house? Okay, now first thing, with the work-based placement, it's all arranged by us. Okay, but sometimes students say, I want to arrange by myself. For example, in the restaurant, commercial cookery programs, it's fine as long as the provider they can provide the program, follow the instruction, which is accordingly by ASQA. Okay, so they have to do that, and otherwise it's fine. Now, when I talk about the student, most of the students that will get job from work-based placement, because during the work-based placement timing, during that period of time, they do very well, and the employer would offer them the job on spot. They will be told, once you finish the work-based placement, you will have the job, part-time job, of course, 48 hours for every two weeks. Okay, so if somebody offers you the job from work-based placement, you don't need to apply again. You don't. Afterwards, you don't need it. You just turn it up or give them a call and just go. But if no one offer you, of course, you try to looking for the job, especially related to your study, then of course you have to apply. All right, we have the job center here. You can come and talk to us, get your CV ready, try to do some simulation on the interviews, that kind of things. All right, we will try to help you out for that part. How much the monthly cost to rent a room in a share house? Audrey, have you got a list of one, please?
In a share house?
Yeah, in a share house. Obviously, that's per room.
I would say it would be, I reckon a rental property in Australia would be around $600 a week. And then you would obviously split that cost up between however many people are living in the house. So the option of accommodation at the Gordon is a lot more economical, I would say. I think you'd be looking at around 200 to 250.
Yeah, I guess that area too. Yeah, because for example, two bedroom, one living room. We call it 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, so normally supposed to be 2 students, but sometimes they may put in 3 students. Okay, and then you just divide it by. All right, and also that they have to consider to share all these bills: electricity, gas, waters. Water, no, they don't pay water, but pay gas and electricity.
Yeah.
All right, that's about it. Yeah. All right, how much for the first deposit? All right, Audrey, can you answer this one? How much for the first deposit?
Usually it's the first year semester fee, but I think just quickly I wanted to quickly just go back a moment. With our fees, we've introduced new tuition fees for some of our courses. So whilst it's not a scholarship, it's a significant reduction in tuition fees. And that is for the cookery course, we've got community services. The cookery course is $30,000. Do you remember how much it was previously, George?
You talk the $30,000. You talk about 2 years, isn't it?
Find it. Yeah, 2
you talk
years.
About So 1 year is about 15,000. Okay. Before I talk about an average of roughly about 16,000. Okay. So some of our program is the price is lower now.
Yeah.
Being the cut off the price, which is that's about you can say that's a scholarship actually. Yeah.
It really is. So for example, we've got the advanced building of building design. That one has been that's a new tuition fee. So originally the tuition fee for this last year was $33,420. This year
That's 2
it's
years program. Yeah.
2-year program. Yep. This year it's 25,000. So it's quite
quite a big of a
significant.
deduction. Yeah.
We've also got, sorry, I'm just looking up the details. Cookery last year, we were looking at around, what was it? This year it's $30,000. I think it's about a $6,000 saving for that one, if I'm correct, George.
Yeah.
Early childhood is the same. That's another one as well, $25,000. So that's also another reduction in tuition fees as well.
Yeah. Whatever Audrey talk about the price is for the whole program, which is 2 years.
Yeah.
Or even more than 2 years. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not just the one course, it's the overall package.
Yeah. Before I talk about it is per year, or if you divide by 2 becomes per semester. All right. So Audrey talk about it for the whole program.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the first deposit is for the first semester payment, and then the OSHC is they buy from the garden, or they need to arrange by their own.
Sorry, say it again.
The OSHC, do they need to arrange by their own, or it can be arranged by the garden?
I didn't catch.
I can't hear it either.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but if what's the one you talk about? Got to arrange by Gordon or students, please?
The insurance, the student insurance.
Oh, insurance. Yeah.
Insurance.
Yeah.
So we can organize that.
We can organize it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We work with Allianz Insurance, who have an absolutely incredible the way that they do their insurance. They're linked in with doctors on call. They have 24-hour emergency. They have like a safety app that the students can log in if they need assistance or medical care. So that is something that we can do for the students as well, and we can price that up as well for them.
Yeah. If the students or the aging, they have their own channel, say they want to arrange it themselves, it's fine, but they need to let us know, okay, provided the evidence or that sort of things. And therefore we can, once they're submitted for the application, and then a visa officer will say, okay, all these evidence there.
Okay, I see. And then since the new regulation, many of vocational course, they do like interview before they issue the offer letter. Is it the same in the garden?
What do you mean interview?
So they do like a GS interview before they issue the offer letter. Is it the same in the garden, or you don't do the interview?
You interview. Generally speaking, we won't do any interview. Okay, we would like to read the SOP or GS. Even now, you don't do if you don't do the SOP, but you got to fill up the GS, right? So our SOP is, GS, same thing. Okay. So normally we won't talk to the students. Okay, but only in some special occasions, we want to, we don't believe the student, but what we want to do is to put the things together more logically, more common sense. Then we would like to invite the student and also agent to sit down, to go through the things, to let you guys know how we feel, how we wish to do, from our angle, from education providers' angle, okay? And so therefore we can make the things better. That's the only reason we want to talk to you guys. Okay, if the SOP or the GAs, they fill up all days, everything's fine. Nah, we don't want to do interview. And I don't think we've done that interview where we only talk to if the special case. Then we want to, because before you submit the application, you can change, you can do whatever. Okay, you can use it as the as a sample exam. Okay, sample test. Because if this one not good, you can change. All right.
Yeah.
But with the visa application, as soon as you submit it, you can't change.
Yeah, we had an example a few weeks ago where we received an application and it was okay, but we thought it could have been a little bit stronger. So rather than interview the students, we just went straight to the agent, and then we just sort of said to the agent, look, we feel if you could tell the student that we need this, this, and this, and if they could provide a little bit more information in this area, and if you can do this and this, and then we just did it that way. So rather than interview the student, we can work with the agent if we need more information or clarification.
Yeah, because we want to make, we all wanted to make sure, increase of a passing rate.
Yeah.
All right, because if the student cannot come in, no one will happy. It's the student's not happy, hasn't got a visa, and the agent's not happy, can't get a commission, and we're not happy, we don't have a student in the classroom. So we've got to working together. Even sometimes, let's say the student got a rejection, okay, and we offer, we would like to sit down with all you guys, okay, and also with the students. We just go through with the rejection letter, okay. We will talk about how we find why we think some area we can do better next time, okay, because we see from a different angle, from an agent's angle, from a student, and from a provider. We want to working together. We want to make sure we don't make the same mistake again.
Okay, noted. Okay, now we have passed our time. We got very full information. Thanks to George and Audrey. Now I think we can close our session today. For our attendees, if you have any inquiry later after our session today, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or other YES education team member. And if we cannot find the answer for you, we will ask the garden staff to send your inquiry and answer your inquiry.
Anytime. Yeah, we're always happy to help.
Anytime.
Just feel free to send an email. And if I can't answer or George can't answer, one of our team are always happy to help as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, George and Audrey, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Lovely to meet you all.
Thank you.
And
See ya.
thank you for everyone joining.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.